Hi, this is Anne.
Perfect. Great. Okay, so there are a few times in your life that I thought you might want to be, that you would be interested in sharing.
Okay.
I'm thinking this because I'm curious about it.
Oh.
And I think she is too.
Yeah.
We don't know.
That's right.
We
That's
don't know
what she
about
said.
you, and we
Yeah.
don't know where you've been, what you've done, really.
That's right. I was always off somewhere.
Yeah, so you got married, you took off, and we were little kids.
Yeah.
We were under 10.
Theology.
And you finished your BA in music.
I finished it was a BM. I hate to say that, but a Bachelor of Music.
Yeah.
And I got that from Boston University. And then, during that time, while he was there, he just was assigned to the Pentagon. Well, he applied.
Wow.
And evidently he passed some tests and whatever. Of course, he was in intelligence.
But he was also an officer. He was in officer training.
Yes, he was. He was an officer by this time.
So
and he went down to the Pentagon. Mm-hmm. So that's where I was in Washington, D.C.
Right.
Well, I was performing with the Washington Opera in those days. And I would do smaller roles with the Arlington Opera.
So you
things
auditioned
like
when you got there?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, so things like what?
Things like Suzuki and Madame Butterfly.
Ooh.
And I learned a couple roles. Giovanna in Figaro. These are small roles.
But you then developed your that was like an audition piece for you that you could go in and do.
Yeah, I could go.
Character.
I could sing operatic style, and I would sing art songs or arias from operas as to suit my voice as auditions for opera companies.
That's where you got a lot of in Washington. You got a lot of your
I got a lot of
experience,
a lot of singing.
Yeah.
So also
So
with
you
the
did
Washington,
that for maybe a year. The operas.
maybe 2 years.
2 years? Okay.
The whole time we were in Washington, I did.
But then you had to leave to go on tour for the.
I left to
Honey
go
Girl
on
thing.
tour, and then
Yeah.
we moved to Italy.
Yeah.
I remember I was also studying with Wilkie.
Wilkie, that's
Frederick
right.
Wilkerson. Correct. He had people in the New York City Opera.
Oh, okay.
He had people who were working professionally all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
He had people in musicals. So we went and we performed, and that's when Roberta Flack played the piano for me.
Oh my God, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Okay.
She was our piano player.
Oh my
Roberta
God.
could play anything in any key.
Really?
And she has a photographic memory.
Really?
She is really an outstanding person and player and performer, musician.
Wow.
At that time, she was a music teacher in the Washington Public Schools.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes,
that.
she was.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, one of the directors I worked for told me that when he was shooting a film in Canada, he loved this song by Roberta Flack, "Killing Me Softly."
Right, yeah.
And I remember I said, "Well, I know Roberta Flack." "You do?" he said. I said, "Yes, we both studied with the same teacher in Washington, D.C., so I called Wilkie."
Oh.
And Wilkie was the one who ordered her to come to Italy and do this film music. Yes. And I wrote the words for the song she sang, 2 songs.
Oh.
In the film, one a love song and one like.
Oh. I don't remember the series of events,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember when you sang with when you were on tour with Carol Lawrence.
Right.
And you and Robert Goulet and that whole troupe of people.
Mm-hmm.
And you would fly in and fly out of Buffalo and you're singing and you're on tour. Can you talk about who these people were to you or
Yeah, that was my first equity show.
how old were you and
I must have been 22 or something like that because I was married when I was 19. I had Oliver when I was 20. I'd have been like 22.
Got it, yeah.
And so I performed and I did my whole thing. So I did my soprano thing.
Did you do like an operatic kind of?
No, I did a musical theater style.
Okay, so did you do a song from Funny Girl?
I can't remember exactly what I sang, but it would have been a song like that, which would show off my musical theater style with my top soprano.
Got it.
Probably something from My Fair Lady or Oklahoma, one of the traditional shows that I went off to Funny Girl,
So
having got the job, having signed my contract right then and there. It was a 3-month contract.
Okay.
And so I was asked to sign the contract again for the next whatever the show was going to go on for the fall, and I wasn't sure where it was going. But Richard got the assignment to Italy, so I decided to go to Italy.
Oh, so that's the timing.
Yes.
So we are on our way to Italy now, and you are like 22 years old?
Must be about. One film I did, and I have pictures of, the one with Jack Palance. Well, one encounter I had was going back and forth to the studio. Now, this was shot in Almeria, Spain. We were all in this hotel down in the town, and every day we'd have to go up to the mountains there to the set. And I had to ride with Jack Palance frequently.
Did you?
How funny.
So he was very, very disdainful of me.
Why?
I don't know. In the film, I played a prostitute, and we wandered back and forth across the West in this wagon. And Jack Palance was the guy who put together this group of prostitutes in this wagon. He was like our boss.
Yeah.
And
maybe he was staying in character.
Maybe he was staying in character, yeah. And so anyway, so once he said to me, so what else do you do? As if maybe he were thinking I really was a prostitute. I don't know. I said, well, I have a degree in music from Boston University. You do? He said. My daughter wants to get a degree in music. I said, well, I highly recommend it. I said, I also write songs. And, oh, you do? He said. And then after that, he was much gentler with me, although he hardly spoke ever.
To any.
And that was part of this UB program where evidently they got a $20 million grant.
Oh, to bring artists in.
Arts in the hospital. So they not only went to Roswell, they were going to Children's Hospital and all the other places. Because I wanted to send him the Eleanor script completely. Asked if it could be a ballet.
Sure, yeah.
I'd love it to be a ballet.
That'd be great.
That would do all the ideas that I have in my head.
Yeah.
So,
so the head of the company came in and met you.
That's right. Overture. Which I played for him. I had that on my computer. And they did a whole dance for me. And they danced to the music that I had on my computer.
When will I see ever